Delivery drivers. Who's the most memorable customer you've ever had? I used to deliver food every Friday to this one family that lived in a mansion. Unlike most rich people I'd encountered, they were super nice to me, leaving big tips and even offering business advice, even if I was just the guy who delivered their pizza. Everyone was perfectly put together, except for their youngest daughter, who always seemed a little sad, like she knew something. One night, their order doubled and included champagne. First time they'd ever gotten alcohol. When I got to their house, every light was on, and I could hear laughter coming from inside. The dad opened the door, grinning like a guy who just won the lottery, and handed me $200 instead of his usual $50. My son just got early acceptance to Princeton, his grandfather's alma mater, he said proudly. Looking past him, I saw the family gathered around a beautifully set table, clinking crystal glasses. The son was beaming at his dad, presumably thinking his dad was proud. But things changed a couple months later. Suddenly, whiskey was getting ordered with every other meal, then every meal. Then our usual friendly exchanges at the door turned cold. I'd start hearing arguments and the dad yelling in the background whenever they opened up the door. They didn't even tip me one week. One Friday night, the son answered. He had a nasty bruise on his cheek and looked like he hadn't slept in days. Dad's working late, he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. Behind him, his mom yelled, "Tell whoever it is to go away." She was so drunk, she hadn't even remembered she placed the order. Tyler handed me the cash, and I noticed a letter on the table behind him, Princeton's rejection letter. I asked if he was okay, given the celebration surrounding it a while ago, but he just shrugged. Just college stress, he lied. But then something weird happened. A few weeks later, their order was back to normal. The dad answered the door looking more relaxed again. "My son's going to Stanford," he said cheerfully. "Actually better for what he wants to study." His wife waved to me from inside looking happier. Richard even handed me an extra tip to make up for the week they didn't tip. "Thanks for always being reliable," he said warmly, but the calm didn't last. Soon their orders got weird again. Sometimes food for 3, sometimes 2, always whiskey. One Friday, I showed up with just 1 meal and 2 whiskey bottles. The mom answered, looking exhausted, hollow-eyed. Behind her, moving boxes filled the hallway. Before I could stop myself, I blurted out, "Where's the rest of the family?" That's when she broke down. "My son is gone. Stanford rescinded his acceptance. My husband faked his transcripts, bought recommendation letters. My son couldn't handle the shame. He's in a facility now. My daughter's with my sister. My husband moved out. He has another family in Boston." She handed me money without counting, then shut the door. 2 weeks passed without hearing from them. Then, late on a random Tuesday night, the restaurant sent me out to their place. Police cars surrounded the house. An officer waved me through after a quick check. Inside, the daughter stood alone in the chaotic kitchen, looking lost. "Mom hasn't eaten," she whispered. Turns out, her brother had tried to hurt himself at the treatment center. Investigators had discovered the husband's embezzlement and lies. FBI agents had stormed the house, taking the mom in for questioning. The husband had vanished after apologizing in a brief call to the daughter. His car was later found abandoned near a bridge. Months later, the mom started ordering again, but now to a tiny apartment in a less flashy part of town. She opened the door wearing simple clothes, her hair chopped short. "I wasn't sure you'd remember me," she said softly. "I always remember my regulars," I reassured her. She invited me inside, something she never would have done before. Her daughter's artwork covered the walls. She told me about her new job designing clothes locally. Her son was back home, attending community college. They never found her husband, but the authorities concluded he'd likely jumped off the bridge. About a year later, the chef of the restaurant called me into his office at the restaurant. The son of the family was sitting there nervously, waiting to apply for a delivery job. "Mom said you might be willing to train me," he said hesitantly.